The Darkest Lost Media Volume 1. This is 43 minutes? I don't want to watch this. But, like, we gotta set the fucking ambience. If it's called The Darkest Lost Media and the thumbnail was, like, all red and shit. If it's spooky, let's make sure it's fucking spooky. Ba-ba! The Darkest Lost Media Volume 1. Alright. Okay. I fuck with a good spooky thing once in a while. I too enjoy the spook. Actually, I ran. This is uncomfortable.
On April 25th, at this bus stop, one boy, 15 years old, shot and killed a 17-year-old boy with a revolver.
WXLT TV, Channel 40, Sarasota, Bradenton.
Lost media is a topic that I have been enamored by for years, yet have surprisingly not formally gotten into. The thought of disturbing TV broadcasts, audio, and VHS footage that have been lost to time is fascinating, and the links that people go to find them is incredible. So much dark and disturbing content has existed even before the internet, and the aim of this series is to dive into them, their search, and their stories, because, as it turns out, some of the darkest lost media out there seems to have always existed among us.
You get it? Among Us. Among Us, yes. Like the hit Smash video game. The devil hidden within them. The devil hidden within them.
The following is a presentation of the Christian Television Network.
Oh, well, you already know this is fucked. Christian Television Network? Okay, this is already absolutely fucked. What was that? Fucking eggs? A little bit of a jammer to it.
Come and join us for a half hour of fun and games at Joy Junction. Now here's Sheriff Don.
Hi, how you doing? Good to see you.
1980.
Someone's about to be like exposed for being a massive pedophile in this shit. Watch. Christian Television, children's TV show. Someone's gonna get outed for being a fucking freak. Watch.
The show is broadcasting on the Christian Television Network named Joy Junction. It's textbook public access TV, set at the eponymous village and hosted by the town sheriff. Throughout the show's lifespan, the town residents would join in for educational bits about the Bible, and kids were encouraged to take part in various games. It seemed to have been pretty successful during its time, as it was on the air for a few years. Bizarrely, nearly every record and archive of this show ever existing have been wiped though, merely leaving us with a handful of surviving re-uploads on YouTube. This has, admittedly, made it difficult to find any further information about Joy Junction aside from what we can distill from the existing footage. But that's okay, because that's not the main reason we're here anyway.
Alright.
Hi, everybody. What's happening?
Hey, Ron. Good to see you.
Oh, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting on you. Oh, I'm sorry I got tied up, Marty, but traffic was heavy and the stores were busy. You know how it is when you go shopping.
One of the show's cast members was a ventriloquist by the name of Ron, and he was present in nearly every episode, joined by his doll Marty.
Okay.
Well, I did come back, didn't I?
Dude's a pedo.
I told you I would come back, didn't I? Yeah. And I'm sorry.
Typically, they'd have a quick conversation about whatever the topic of the day was, and it, at least in the surviving archives, appeared to serve as a bridge between two segments of the show. Ron's full name was Ronald Brown, and in the years following the show's eventual end, he'd launch his own puppeteering company out of Florida called Puppets Plus.
Damn.
On his website at puppetsplus.com, we can observe a myriad of their clients, along with the age groups that he was primarily hired for. Ages 2 to 5 and 6 to 11.
Okay.
Now, at first glance, this seems par for the course in his profession. Children's entertainment was his forte. However, it's when we back up and take a look at Ronald as a person when things begin to sour. You see, throughout the years, Ronald had a strange dynamic with children.
Uh-oh.
For instance, in 1998, he was pulled over for a traffic violation and was found to be in possession of boys' underwear.
I was fucking... Okay, you know what? Honestly, I can't even fucking act like, oh my god, I'm such a genius. It was Christian television. It's a fucking children's show, and there's some dude that is with puppets. Like, come on, let's be real, dude. Could there possibly be any more fucking indicator the dude's gonna end up being a freak? Come on. Like, that much is obvious.
His excuse was that he used them for his puppets, and he was eventually let off.
Right.
Other complaints came throughout the 2000s about him giving rides to kids in his church van.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, police could never do much because there wasn't any explicit crime being committed. It was incredibly strange, but unfortunately not enough to warrant any sort of arrest. Where things really get nutty, though, is when we jump to the early 2010s, in which Brown would find himself caught in a web of controversy.
He did something to get outed, right? Oh, God. Never mind. I'm thinking horrible. Oh my god, he did like an online chat with a kid? He got outed like the typical pedophile? I wish I had tied and gagged him in the closet. Huh? I wish I had him.
In May of 2012, a man named Michael Arnett was arrested after a sting operation.
Damn.
He was
Fucking
charged
freak.
with the production of, and upon searching his home and computer, they would find chat logs on Yahoo Messenger between he and a person going by the name U.E. Lime. As it turned out, Arnett would produce these images and distribute them to various others online from the username CK3666, Sweet Talker Linda, and Calf Keeper 2. You'll notice that U.E. Lime was outward about their desires. They expressed interest in cannibalism, torture, sexual assault, and all of it was directed towards children, even as young as 2. The catch here, though, is that U.E. Lime wasn't just a random person.
It was a fucking puppet, dude.
It was Ronald Brown, his secret online alias in which he'd express his fantasy about the kids he surrounded himself with daily. Let me remind you that this was a man whose entire life was centered around associating with kids. Someone who was, at one point, on television in front of thousands. To say that these chat logs were a bad look would be putting it lightly. And yes, the messages you're seeing are straight out of the official case file.
Wow. These are all real? I thought it was like a reenactment type thing. Fucking freaks. Just put them in a vat of acid, bro. Like, just dip them in there. Just fucking just chain around the neck and just go until they're just fucking delete-o. Like Breaking Bad type. Just delete them.
After corresponding with Yahoo.com, authorities were able to track down Ronald Brown and tie his username to a profile on a necrophilia website named cutedeadguys.net.
This dude was on a fucking... This dude was on a fucking Christian television and he was at a necrophilia forum browser? What? Like, you understand how fucking backwards that is, man?
Ronald's profile has been lost to time. However, through his own case report, we're able to find details describing it. On this site, his bio read, "I love them young and dead. I enjoy them fresh, but like to see them displayed in their casket too." And a few snippets from his post history. "I like the blonde boy. Would love to snuff him. Very hot pics.
Dude,
That boy looks dead. I like that one. I'd love to kill them."
dip him in a vat of acid.
It's
All right,
safe to
bro.
say that at this point, there was more than enough to warrant an arrest. And on July 19th of 2012, that notion would finally become a reality.
This was in 2012?
Officials arrested a Largo man for possessing and conspiring to kidnap a child. They say he was a puppeteer who performed for children in the Bay Area. News Channel 8's Yolanda Fernandez has been following this story for us. She is joining us live tonight from Pinellas County.
Well, Keith, 57-year-old Ron Brown is here in the Pinellas County Jail tonight. Federal investigators say it was his gruesome and very graphic online chats with the known child.
Brown's house was raided, and scattered across his home were images of pictures of kids being tied up, and even some that appeared to be dead. Furthermore, agents found CDs with much of the same material, a blow-up sex doll dressed in boys' clothes, a journal he kept about his fantasies dating back to 1978, and even books about serial killers and cannibalism.
What the fuck?
He was eventually found guilty of possession of and was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison
Cannibalism
with a
of
lifetime of
children?
supervision thereafter. Had he
Oh.
lived out his full sentence, he would be out sometime in 2033. However, as of August of 2020, it's reported that he is now deceased.
Motherfucker lived that long, too? I thought he would
My
be
heart
fucking...
goes out to the children who had to
fucked
suffer
up in
for the
prison.
pleasure of this monster and all of those who associated with him. For his entire life, he was calculated and knew what he was doing. His career, his church van favors, his company parties, all a front for some of the darkest desires imaginable. In hindsight, I understand why Joy Junction's records were wiped. It was a show with a good premise and good intentions, I won't deny that. However, now bears a reputation forever stained by the devil, hidden within them.
Religion and pedophilia, like fucking peanut butter and jelly.
Before we continue, just a couple quick announcements. First off, I'd like to formally announce my second channel, called Nexpo After Hours. Second, new merch is now available at crowdmade.com/collection/Nexpo.
Gotta make that fucking money. I can respect it. A legacy of tragedy. What was it like? Here's my guess of what that is. I'm gonna guess there was a couple on vacation somewhere recording themselves, and they recorded like the last moments where they fucking drive off a cliff or something. That's my guess. I'm gonna be completely wrong though.
The year is 1928, and a romantic disaster film about Noah's Ark hits theaters. Directed by a man named Michael Curtis, it premieres during a transitional period between silent movies and talkies, or films with actual spoken dialogue.
Talkies?
Because of this, it's mostly regarded as a hybrid film with long scenes being played over music, and with it comes a healthy dose of extensive criticism. Most of the backlash is due to its runtime, clocking in at a whopping 2 hours and 15 minutes long, with considerable portions containing awkward dialogue and drawn-out scenes. Sitting through this movie is, to put it lightly, a considerable undertaking. Because of this, the film is pulled for revision, and the cut content is never shown again.
Okay, it was just a box
A
office
good
flop.
portion of the cut footage came from what the movie is mostly known for today, and that's the flood scene.
Oh, it's this. You know, for a second there, I wasn't sure if I recognized what he was talking about. This is when there was a scene in the Noah's Ark movie where they start flooding the area, but the actors and shit didn't actually know they were going to flood it. So there's like people drowning. There's people dying and shit. Like actual deaths are like recorded in the movie because people are drowning because the water is so high and they didn't tell them.
In it, we can observe a slew of actors way out of a
With reaction.
crumbling temple and towards the ark to stay alive.
This is just very
It's
interesting.
a grandiose set with a lot going on, and keeping in mind the time period, all of this was pulled off with practical effects. These people were legitimately submerged.
And there's like animals and shit too that are drowning. That's fucked up, man.
Some might consider the acting here to be pretty well done. Like I said, this scene is grand, and due to the time period, was all pulled off practically. The thing is, some of these actors weren't actually acting, as during this scene, 3 actors drowned and 1 reportedly lost their leg. This was
Holy
the result
shit.
of over 600,000 gallons of water being dumped across the set, something that the film's extras were reportedly unaware of. It's been reported that, before filming commenced, Michael Curtis was warned against putting so many people in danger. However, he shrugged it off, claiming that the extras were expected to be prepared for anything.
They're
and
just
that,
going to have
quote,
to take their chances.
They're just gonna have to take their chances.
Well, that doesn't
The
sound
original
legal
cut
at
of the
all.
movie, it's rumored that you could see these deaths happen on screen with a much more fleshed out flood scene. However, since the revisions, that original version is forever considered lost.
There's like no
It's rumored that
lawsuits.
Curtis
Fucking 1928.
was in pursuit of relentless perfection. He wanted this movie to be grand and authentic. However, in this chase came a loss of life that did not need to happen, leaving Noah's Ark forever stained with an enduring legacy of tragedy.
That's fucked up. That's just like, it's a fucking movie, dude.
Searching for a website,
Get out.
A window to the world, got to get online.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going to
Shit. That was a jam.
On the 2nd of July 2014, an ad was made
Craigslist.
on Craigslist. It came from an 18-year-old girl named Brooke Slocum and was but a simple request for cash.
Everyone has bronchitis at my house.
I need $50 by 3:30 p.m. today. I can pay you back later tonight, but I need gas and some mess quick. Everyone has bronchitis at my house and I do not want to get sick. I'm 8 months pregnant and my lungs are all squished as is. If you could help, me and my daughter will greatly appreciate it.
That seems
This post
sketch.
remained untouched for 10 days.
Oh shit. Somebody tells me they didn't have bronchitis.
At 10:08 p.m. on the night of July 12th, Slocum receives an email from a man going by the name Mike's Hard. I can host, what are you thinking? I'm 25. This was a reply to other, separate ads that Brooke made around the same time period, in which she would solicit sex for money. According to her
Fuck. Hello, a little about me. I'm 18, 5'3", and about 120 pounds and still growing. Pregnant with a beautiful white Korean baby girl. I'm white and petite, short brown hair. I love anime, books, food, cats, puppies, babies. Pansexual, experienced a woman there in 3 ways. I'm a tad shy. Blah, blah, blah. Father of my child. What the fuck?
friends, it wasn't willingly, as her then boyfriend, 25-year-old Charles Oppenheer, would coerce her to do this while accompanying her during these meetups. Reluctant, Slocum responds 20 minutes later.
Well, we're looking for donations if possible. Kinda in a tight spot, and we have a baby on the way. As far as the fund goes, though, there won't be any mail.
How does $120 sound? I can drive you over here if you need.
This dude got fucking killed.
No, we can travel, just can't host is all. When and where would you like to meet up?
I like to f*** outside in a park around 11:30. That okay?
What, dude? You like to fuck in the park? What the fuck? That's public indecency. And two, you're gonna get like a fucking ant up your asshole or something. Why would you want to do it in the park?
I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble for indecent exposure. Anymore.
Yeah, smart.
I can't go to jail being 8 months pregnant.
It's cop-free. It's a park, but behind it there are lots of woods. No cops at all.
Why would you even want to? Oh, don't worry about it. We're going to go to the back where there's fucking woods and nobody will be able to find your dead body if I want to bury it. Yeah, no, that I'll pass, man. Like, just the prospect of, hey, let's go in the fucking woods and bang. That's already kind of like, nah. Hey, let's go to the woods and bang in the fucking foresty area where there's no cops that'll be able to see anything anyways.
This last email arrived at 10:59 p.m. And as we can see, Mike's Hard was keen on meeting that same night.
Yeah.
Needless to say, Slocum ended up accepting.
Oh my god.
Their trip to Gazon Park in Wyoming, Michigan.
Well, they're fucked. That was just not smart. That's not even worth $120. The fuck is this? Is this his camera footage? What is that? That was grabbing a guitar.
It's midnight.
They're at midnight at the park?
The couple arrives, with Mike pulling up shortly after.
Dude.
Initially believing this to be another sex meetup, the two approach Mike without much concern. Sometime during the next few minutes, Brooke is grabbed, bound and shoved into the trunk of Mike's car. In haste, Charles tries to help, however is unsuccessful, resulting in a violent altercation between the two. It's unclear how long this fight lasted. However, what is certain is that during this, Charles was violently killed.
Oh my god. Really?
Mike drags his body near the woods, saws his head off, and covers the remains with sticks.
What the fuck?
Without so much of a single witness, he jumps in his car, and alongside Charles' head and Brooke Slocum stowed behind him, drives off into the night.
Dude, that went from like, okay, he got into a fight, to like, oh, he killed him, and then he fucking sawed his head off. What? That escalated so much. And why did he cover the body with sticks and keep the head? Yeah, this is why, I mean, if you want to talk about like the definition of like red flags, I want to meet you guys at midnight at the park by the woods where the cops aren't there. Like, dude, how many fucking possible signs of bad shit could you have possibly been like receiving, and you still decided to go through with this? I don't understand.
After realizing that Oppenhier's car had not moved in days, police began probing on his whereabouts. When asked, his parents drummed up nothing, his work nothing. No one knew where he was, but his car was there. And so they began searching the park on July 17th, 5 days after the incident with Mike's heart.
They're gonna find the sticks.
Upon scouring the wooded area that lined its back end, they then discover a headless body under some brush.
Why did he take the head off? Fucking weird, man. That's fucking weird, dude.
And it was later identified as Charles Oppenhier.
Shit, that's fucked up. Slender? No, some guy got fucking decapitated.
In the coming hours,
what happened to the lady?
Realized that Oppenhier wasn't single, and his girlfriend, too, was missing. In haste, authorities obtain a search warrant for her apartment and begin searching her laptop. On it, there were a myriad of conversations. However, one thread from Mike's heart stood out among the rest.
Right.
The Internet Crimes Against Children Unit was called in for analysis on the real name behind the alias, and they found that this address was tied to another email, which was tied to a Facebook for a man not named Mike, but Brady.
Aw, shit.
Brady Ostrike. They stake out near his home while they await a search warrant.
Okay.
There wasn't enough evidence for an arrest warrant by this point, so that was a frustrating roadblock. The hours tick by without much happening. However, around 9 p.m. on the night of July 17th,
Hear a scream or
Brady
something.
would be spotted jumping into his car and leaving his home.
Dude, what if they caught him on his way to another meetup to like try to fucking do this shit to more people? And then that's how they caught him.
A few moments later, he's stopped by a nearby officer. Before they could get to him, though, he takes off, leading to a grueling
shit.
pursuit.
Okay, he just fucking booked it. So then, damn, I want to know if the lady died. Did she survive?
Eventually, he loses control and crashes into a cement barrier.
Dumbass. Fucking idiot. How the hell did he possibly do
As
that?
the officers pull up for apprehension, however, he on the head
Wow, the dude fucking shot himself after. Fuck him.
and falls forth to his death.
What a piece of shit. What a
few
fucking
seconds later,
degen,
police
man.
approach and search his vehicle.
Yes, of course the fucking pussy did that after he's gonna get caught too. Fucking typical.
And
What did he
search his
say?
vehicle. In it was 31-year-old Brady Ostrike, dead in the front seat.
Yeah.
And in the trunk, stuffed within a suitcase, was 18-year-old Brooke Slocum and her unborn daughter,
Oh,
both
wow.
of whom were deceased.
Stuffed in a fucking suitcase.
Upon searching Ostrike's home shortly after, they discovered a plethora of ropes, knives, swords, cages, straps, and bizarre writings that make little to no sense at all. His toilet was inoperable, and the entire place was nothing short of rancid.
What the fuck? Ugh.
Most interesting of all, however, was the discovery of cameras.
Why did he record
As
himself?
it turned out, he had them all over his home so he could document his actions. And what you're seeing here is Ostrike as he prepares the basement he kept Slocum in for those agonizing 5 days. Now, there exists footage of Brady Ostrike's grueling torture of Brooke Slocum. However, you'll never see it. The police department has gone on record to say that they will never release it, however describe it as something straight out of a nightmare. During the time Slocum was captive, and even when police were right outside the home, she was locked in handcuffs with a chain around her neck. Reportedly, Ostrike had bound her arms to the ropes hanging from the ceiling and left her dangling while he sexually assaulted and tortured her before strangling her to death.
Damn, dude.
All of this was captured on film.
It's fucked up.
Years later, Oppenier's head was found off some back roads, 17 miles north of Gizon Park. It's a chilling end to a disturbing online saga and really drives home the fact that you really don't know who it is you're meeting with on Craigslist, dating apps, OfferUp, what have you, until you actually come face to face.
Yeah, and that's why when
What
somebody
began as a
when somebody presents you the option of like, hey, let's go to the woods to have sex at 12 o'clock at night at a park behind the fucking woods, then maybe you should not accept. Maybe, I just don't know. Like, man, the sense of awareness must have just not fucking... There wasn't any red flags going off. There wasn't any like, wait, this is kind of strange. Like, nothing. Damn, dude.
simple request for just $50 had led to the loss of 3 lives following a days-long nightmare orchestrated by a depraved man. The torture footage is, as of 2022, considered indefinite lost media that may never see the light of day.
Good.
However, considering what exactly it entails,
It's not a bad thing.
We'd really want it to.
That's what I'm saying. Good. Keep it fucking... Who the fuck... All you're gonna do by ever having that come out is just appeal to fucking freaks anyways. Good. Why the fuck would anybody want to see the torture footage anyways? Damn. In living color.
Win Armstrong for Coast Federal.
WXLT TV, Channel 40, Sarasota, Bradenton.
I don't give a shit how good looking somebody is. If they're telling me to meet them in the woods at midnight, I'm not fucking going. I don't give a fuck. I mean, unless I have like a fucking piece on me, then it's like, all right, maybe. But even then, why would I be going to the woods at midnight?
The year is 1972, and a reporter named Christine Chubbuck eagerly lands a job at WXLT Channel 40 in Sarasota, Florida. Initially hired as a reporter, she was reassigned to a spot named Suncoast Digest, a local affairs segment that ran at 9 a.m. every Saturday. During her time there, she'd become attracted to a fellow reporter named George Ryan and would seek his attention by baking him cakes and expressing a desire to hang out.
Oh my god.
When she realized that he was already romantically involved with another coworker,
oh
however,
no, don't tell me she
killed her. It was detrimental to her self-image, as Christine historically had difficulty finding love. According to her family, she'd go on dates with various men throughout the years, however had trouble connecting socially with them. On top of this, by 1973, Chubbuck underwent surgery to have one of her ovaries removed, and as a result, her doctors began to pressure her, claiming that if she wasn't able to conceive within 2 to 3 years thereafter, she may never be able to.
I guess for like freezing eggs and shit wasn't an option at that point, right? Because nowadays you can just freeze eggs. It doesn't even fucking matter, but I mean, this was like back then, so who knows? Right? Anybody know when the fuck you could freeze eggs?
Living Color on NBC.
Super spy Fred Flintstone is off on the trail of the mysterious Green Goose, a master of
Tonight we begin with the death of a man armed with scissors. He was shot by police 24 times.
Jesus.
Do something. Get him to do something
Fucking dude got lit up. 24 bullets?
about the problem. Meantime, they say they're going to back the leafleting up with a meeting this Friday with city and state officials.
Good evening. More than 100 people were reported dead in a plane crash near New York's Kennedy Airport this afternoon.
Holy shit.
The plane was an Eastern Airlines 727 nearing the end of a...
As 1974 approached, Chubbuck witnessed a shift in news methodology. Christine always had a desire to pursue what she believed to be high-impact stories about issues affecting the community. However, WXLT executives were leaning more towards stories that were juicier, per se.
Oh, you mean sensationalist? Kind of like all the media nowadays, where like they rather have like the fucking crazy, violent, insane story that's going on rather than like the one that's actually fucking impactful.
Fear and
shocker. The other day, I watched, when I was feeling like shit, I watched Nightcrawler. You guys ever see that movie? The one with Jake Gyllenhaal? This movie. And then he sells them to like news organizations. That movie's fucking... This movie is so fucking good. If you guys haven't seen it, seriously, take a look. It's crazy. He plays a fucking sociopath in this movie. It's very, very good. And it kind of goes into the whole premise. Like, for example, I was at the gym today, and there was on the TVs were showing... They always show different channels, like ESPN and fucking, like, local news and, like the national news type things. And of all the TVs... There was like 4 of them. And there's like, I don't know. It looks like there's like probably 16, 20 of them. 4 of them, or 5 or 6, were showing, like, talking about the shooting that happened. And you could see, kind of like in the movie, when the fucking lady's orchestrating it, where she says, hey, what's the banner? Put the banner House of Horror. Where I could literally see that shit happening. Like, I could see it happening as I'm looking at it, because it said, fucking 4th of July Parade Massacre. 4th of July... or Parade brutality, fucking 4th of July slaughter, like all these fucking terms and names being used to describe it. And I was just like, fuck, dude, like just to try to get the fucking person's attention, like to try to like lock that person's attention in and be like, holy shit, you know, like the coverage of it is so like, It's crazy. Movie's a masterpiece. Yeah, it's very, very good. I highly recommend anyone that hasn't seen it to check it out. It's a fucking great movie.
Sensationalism to drive viewership.
Anyway, sensationalism of stories and trying to like get the fucking best story out there and shove it down everyone's throat. And my God, look at how horrible this is. Everyone take a look and give us our ratings. It's fucked up.
In turn, generating revenue. The news she was tasked with reporting began to shift further and further towards spectacle and shock, and she frequently rallied against this to no avail. Resultingly, she became stuck in a mindset, in a world that she was growing to hate. Her professional life, her personal life, everything around her.
Oh no. Something fucking happened. Did she have a mental break, maybe?
Good evening, I am Steve Newman, and this is Channel 40 Weather Watch. It's going to be even cooler tonight than tomorrow night than tonight. The reason for this, with the passage of the cold front today, when we picked up some showers, skies have cleared very nicely. And as a result...
On the 15th of July, 1974, Christine enthusiastically entered the station. Instead of opening Suncoast Digest traditionally, however, she claimed that there was a newscast she had to read to open it, something that hadn't been done hitherto. She takes her seat at the news desk, and for the first 8 minutes, opens her segment about 3 national news stories and a shooting that took place the day prior.
Well, ain't that some shit?
Following this, a film reel of the shooting was supposed to play, but had jammed, leaving a few moments of dead air. In response, Christine apologized for the error before taking out a script she had handwritten and reading to the viewers the following.
Oh, is it on camera? The following audio is believed to be authentic. Oh, wow. Discovered last year? Final moment. Wait, what the fuck did she do? If you'd like to skip this section, jump to 3302. The death audio will not be played. Oh my God, did she shoot herself?
Statistics. This weekend, being typical of the recent rash of violence, saw one man stabbed, another assaulted, and a third shot and wounded. Sarasota police report the finding of an 18-year-old, a man by the name of David Wynn, in the parking lot of a Friendly Tavern on 27th Street. Wynn had an apparent stab wound in the chest, which, according to witnesses, was inflicted by James Whitworth during a fight. Police charged Whitworth with aggravated assault. Wynn is in satisfactory condition at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. The second attempted armed robbery in a week has involved law enforcement officers from both Sarasota and Manatee counties. Last week, teenage gunmen held up the highway bar and, after a shootout and high-speed automobile chase, held a family hostage and finally were nabbed by Sarasota Sheriff's deputies. Early Sunday morning, the Beef and Bottle restaurant north of Sarasota Bradenton Airport on US 41 was the site of an attempted armed robbery and shooting. TV 40 newsman Bob Peterson was on the scene.
Okay, she's reporting on, the stuff, but she wrote this too?
Sorry, for those of you who saw Late Night Weekend News Watch last night, we did have a film report and...
Okay, so that was her reading the script up until the point where the video fucking cut out. And then she said, oh, I'm sorry. And then she started saying her speech.
Commentary by Bob Peterson. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties and cannot bring it to you now. However, News Watch tonight at 5:30, and we'll have that story for you then. As of this morning, Grace Foster, who was shot in that incident, is in satisfactory condition at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. In keeping with the WXLT practice of presenting the most immediate and complete reports of local blood and guts news, TV 40 presents what is believed to be...
Okay, that's already blood and guts news. She's already gone off on her own tangent.
A television first. In living color, exclusive coverage of an attempted suicide.
Oh, wow.
At this moment,
she
Christine
shot
drew a
herself.
Smith & Wesson.
Oh my God, that's fucking horrible. She literally reads off of the script, as as our news is so well known for being like accurate and shit. Like, here's coverage of a fucking attempted suicide, and then she fucking shot herself. That's horrible.
Revolver that she had hidden in her bag, placed it behind her right ear, and fired, immediately falling forward onto her desk. In a frantic response, the tech directors quickly faded the broadcast to black and scrambled to play a movie thereafter.
Damn, dude.
Calls began to flood in, with viewers questioning the authenticity of what they just witnessed, with some believing that this was just a morbid joke or a prank. However, it was far from it.
That's fucked
She
up.
was rushed to Sarasota Hospital, and back at the station, the news director, Mike Simmons, had discovered 2 pages of a script left behind by her. The first page contained what we heard prior, however the second was a follow-up intended to be read by a third party. Today, Christine Chubbuck during a live broadcast. She was rushed to Sarasota Memorial Hospital where she remains in critical condition.
Oh, wow. She wrote that, like,
surprisingly,
for them to report
Christine's
it.
prediction turned out to be correct. Not only because she was at that very hospital, but because she remained in critical condition for 14 hours until her eventual death. Christine's body was cremated and spread in the Gulf of Mexico, marking the end of a life full of despair. To those around her and to her loved ones, however, an agonizing void was left that would forever go unfilled. Reportedly, only one tape of this incident existed and was kept by Bob Nelson, the station's owner. After his death, his wife Molly would inherit it before handing it over to a law firm for good. As of now, this is where it lies, and for the foreseeable future, may never see the light of day.
That's fucking sad. Damn, that's horrible, actually. Damn, like, it's... Fuck, dude. The woman on the table, oh my god. Please, no more! Can you watch something not disturbing, please? It's called The Darkest Lost Media. It ain't all sunshines and fucking rainbows. Sometimes you have to look at depressing shit to be reminded of how great the good stuff is. How nice the positive shit is in life.
We will return after these messages.
Good morning.
To preface this last entry, I'd like to state from the outset that the following could be absolutely nothing. The answer could be completely mundane. However, the footage in this section has personally stood out to me because of how bizarrely out of place it is and how little info there is about it. I was gonna put it in the next disturbing things. However, I think it fits better here.
Okay.
Let us begin. It's the 1980s. Beetlejuice makes its debut. Journey, Survivor, Guns N' Roses, and our favorite Rick Astley are on the airwaves.
Damn.
And over on a stand-up comedy show named An Evening at the Improv, a child actor turned musician named Corey Feldman is world premiering his latest track, Something in Your Eyes.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start the show off tonight a bit differently than usual. What I'm going to do is I'm going to world premiere my song that I just finished writing and producing with Michael Damian for my new movie, Dream a Little Dream, with Jason Robards. It's called Something in Your Eyes. I'm going to do it right now.
Alright, dude's fucking jamming.
As we can see, he had a mixed reaction from the audience. Clearly lip-syncing and taking inspiration from Michael Jackson.
He's lip-syncing? I can't fucking tell. He didn't even start singing yet. How the fuck was I supposed to be able to tell?
He employs dance moves in a musical style that attempts to emulate them.
Well, yeah, no shit. The whole fucking... Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Upon looking through comments about him on YouTube, it's clear that history hasn't exactly been kind to Feldman. But that's beside the point. The reason I bring this video up in the first place is because, towards the song's end, Feldman's producer makes an incredibly strange cutaway to something that is very out of place for a video like this. Have a look.
You shouldn't have let it go. You should have held on
What the fuck was that? I mean, maybe that's like a part of like the music video or something. Like, you know how like music videos are fucking extremely strange sometimes? Like maybe that's what that is. Maybe it's like a music video segment or something. But why would you even have that like cue to switch and shit at the moment to that?
What is this? And why is it here? Nowhere in this song does Feldman make any sort of mention about a woman being bound to a pool table. And after performing a cursory scan of his other music videos, cutaways like this never happen again. This seems eerily out of place, and discussion about this is painstakingly few and far between. The only mentions I could find about it were from Reddit and a few YouTube comments. However, none of them garnered much attention, and their sources are pretty much non-existent. With that being said, let's circle back to the footage so we can break it down ourselves.
At the time of the filming, one of the producers of the show was responsible for a string of rapes and murders in the LA area, and he was alleged to have filmed most of the acts as some sick memento. So one of the producers was associated with a bunch of crime spree that went on? And then which producer was it that switched this shit then? Was it the same guy?
As we can see, the video of this woman was patched in post-production. Unlike the other cutaways that happened prior, this one has a different border. It's in black and white, and seems to be slightly lower quality than his music video. In the footage, we have a woman with brown or black hair tied up on each corner of the pool table, is in what appears to be a small room with a swinging light above her, and seems to be moving because of discomfort. To me, this footage could be one of three things. Either it's a scene from an obscure movie, a cut of a film, or it could be from a legitimate film. Personally, I believe it's one of the first two, given how obvious this cutaway is on something that's been seen by hundreds, if not thousands, of people. If this were truly as sinister as it's been rumored, it would be a pretty stupid move to put it there. Regardless, this cutaway is one of the weirdest edits I have ever seen, and I'm still struggling to drum up a reason as to why it's there in the first place.
Weird.
I'm curious if you know anything about this, if you've seen it before, if you've heard about it, anything. This is a weird little mystery, and this is where I'm calling for your help.
You know, that's weird, but...
Who is the woman on the table?
That's weird, don't get me wrong. But that's not even close to, like, fucking people being beheaded and shit. This was definitely more tame. It's just strange. It's just, I don't know if it's as nearly as dark as the previous two, which were fucking horrible. It was actually, like, horrible. Damn.
Even apart from the internet, the world is dark. So many pieces of media have been forgotten and lost to time, and in this series, I aim to document and bring those back to light. Thank you so much for joining me in this first installment of The Darkest Lost Media. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos, and I truly apologize for the delay on this one. I had to completely rework a section due to copyright issues, so it set me back pretty badly. Nonetheless, I really hope you guys like this. I made this series with the goal of it standing toe-to-toe with disturbing things in terms of quality, and I'm thrilled to keep this going if you would have me. That said, if you have any creepy suggestions for future installments for this series, and even disturbing things from around the internet, feel free to shoot me an email at dtfaisubmissions@gmail.com. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you on the next one. I love you all.
I love you too, man. Thank you.
Good night.
Damn, that was fucked, dude. Like, I'm telling you, the last one with the music video, that one was like, okay, that was strange. It's definitely weird how it cut out. But that doesn't even fucking compare. The other ones are documented actual, like, fucking crimes and shit. Like, these two, it was fucking horrible. Wow. Damn, that's fucking sad and horrible. I Gotta watch videos of fucking kittens and shit now.
Homeland Security tells me they do not expect a third raid of Ronald Brown's trailer home in Largo, at least not anytime soon. At this hour, bags of possible new clues seized late last night are headed for a crime lab.
And that fucking
Agents
freak.
can't tell us what's in those bags yet. The 57-year-old puppeteer is accused of crimes against children. Authorities say Brown had pictures of boys with their hands and feet bound. Brown's already appeared in federal court where detectives say he admitted to chatting with another man online about cooking children and eating their remains.
What, man? Dude. What the fuck? Damn, dude.